Welcome to Just with Sherry.
Finally, I'm glad
I
to be here.
I know. It's been a long time coming.
hmm
I call you Wale because I've always known you as that. But I know
hmm
that a lot of people call you Lex. So I don't know which one
Yeah,
you're going by nowadays. Is it Wale or Lex?
I go by both now. Come on, like a lot of people know me as Wale still, and like Lex comes from Wale. It's
Mhm.
Walex. Do you get Lex comes from Wale, so it's still part of the name. Do you get?
So
People
some
some
people.
people met Wale, some people met Lex, and they're still one and the same person. To be very honest, there's no insistence on name or pronouns here. No, we don't. No, none of that.
All right, I hear you. Rap has always been your passion, right from when I remember, like from secondary school.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And I know that you're also a marketer by profession. Uh,
Yeah.
you're an intellectual, you're very opinionated, which you fit right into this space because over here we just say it as we see it and as we call it and as we think it.
Yeah, I'm good.
We don't
Uh-huh.
filter anything. So
Yes, sir.
you fit right into this space. But let me ask you, like, I would describe you like the way I just did, right? Like that's probably
Okay.
the way I feel like I know you as, but like how would you describe
hmm
yourself?
Okay, so just to avoid sounding vain,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll firstly describe myself as a global citizen. I'm very, very concerned. And I try to be as aware as possible about what's going on globally,
Mm-hmm.
right? I still like to be parochial in my thinking on that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I understand that whatever factors affect the West and the East, for example, are very different from what affects us here in Africa. So, but still, I think first of all, I describe myself as a global citizen. Second of all, I think I'll describe myself as a Pan-Africanist, for lack of a better word. I have an affinity towards initiatives or endeavors that tie Africa closely together. I feel like we're still suffering from that colonial um, approach of divide and conquer. We're still very divided,
Fair.
you know. So I try to put some nuggets here and there about that in my music because at the end of the day, music is entertainment. Like people want to hear it and feel good. So I try to do it in a witty, light way sometimes, just so it's not too overbearing or it's not too much information because it can come across as that.
I definitely heard it in your song, the last track that you released, "Rap Poison." Is that what the thinking process was behind when you were releasing the song, or was it directed at someone in particular?
A video that I saw online that was circulating,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this guy. At the end of the video, he singled out Odumodu Blvck,
Mm-hmm.
who's like a friend of mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not only is he a friend of mine, like I'm also inspired by him because like he took nuggets that I gave him from way back, about being African, being original, and he took that and wove it into something that's so huge right now that's is incredible. Like he's unapologetically African, he's unapologetically, who he is, which I really love, right? And this guy tries to troll him about how he sounds, like like maybe because he doesn't speak in proper English. That elitist mentality, right?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Like, okay, you think because you're a rapper and then you can speak in phone and put some words together, that makes you better than everyone else. So that just really upset me, and I just thought I would be complicit if I kept quiet in such a situation. And I thought, okay, like you need to understand that rap is deeper than any of this. Like rap came out of oppression. Like people were oppressed and they wanted to express themselves. It's not about you seeing how many punchlines you have, how many gold chains, how many sneakers. Like there's a whole lot of problems that are going on in the world. That for you to be worrying about how a rapper sounds. Like, and secondly, that's why it's interesting that you name this meeting African Inferiority Complex. Is that in under that video, I made a comment under that video that has a lot of likes. Like it got a lot of engagement because I basically wrote an essay on why I thought it was very foolish for the guy to do what he did. I think the inferiority complex is insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact you have to use the American standard as your benchmark for what is good or what is not acceptable. It is insane. Like we're unconsciously biased towards anything Western majorly, and it's crazy. It's crazy how that has permeated into everyone's mindset without them even knowing. So that's actually one of my major reasons why I even still rap, Sherilyn, to be honest. I feel like I'm not going to be a pastor. I'm not going to stand in front of people and evangelize.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is what I can do. I can make music and give my opinions and say what I think. What I think is not right and what I think should be done. There's a lot. Africa, like I'm not even talking about Africa. Let's not even talk about Africa. Let's talk about Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You get like there's so much going on in Nigeria for a bunch of rappers to be talking about who's the best rapper, or you get like it's like our priorities are not even in line. They're not in order. Like how is that important? How are you? He's able to make music that resonates with a large demographic.
Yeah.
That's something for you to acknowledge. You get and say, oh wow, how are you able to do that? How are you able to get 5-year-olds and 60-year-olds to sing to your music? Those are the kind of questions you should be asking someone like that, not trying to diminish what he's done just because he's not doing it in the standard that you recognize, right? Or you feel the Americans in quotes have standardized. So that's it's just quite ridiculous to me, and I had to call it out, which is why I did Ras Poison.
The song is hot. I was listening to the song the other day and I was like,
how can you come out, chase cloud with your full chest, and you try to clown a nigga that's definitely more than these niggas with the West Africa, they rap with accents. And they always tell my guys, I don't understand them. You waste today, I do go abuse. They try wine, man. As soon as they see them press their full reset, slap them, and then carry book, go read. These niggas need some re-education. Nobody books with the tell now, say man go back, discover now. That one that miseducation. But that one no fit consign them now till they dress like 50. Rap like Tupac, flow like Biggie. Talk some dumb lines that don't ever correlate. Forcing punchlines with themselves, no fit relate. Be like that, your number 2, know they help them, they coordinate.
You really drop bars. But yeah, what you said is true. It seems like for whatever reason, Nigeria is called the sleeping giant of Africa. But it's like its citizens don't realize that or don't appreciate that. And for whatever reason, as Nigerians and as Africans, we always look up to the West to dictate the standard of what is good and what is bad, what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable, what is high enough, what isn't, high enough. I actually saw a video, I think you posted it, where rap actually originated from Africa, right? A lot of people don't know that. I didn't start to recently, so I'm gonna admit it. Which is funny. How did we miss that? How do people not realize, and how did we forget the origin of rap? And then now they're trying to copy, whereas we were actually the originators of it. But how did that happen?
Yeah, it's culture, right? It's I think it's social science. There's been a lot of social change, especially with the mixing of races, especially since after the whole Jim Crow era, especially in the US, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we should be entitled towards it as a race. I don't think we should say, oh, rap belongs to us. I really don't think we should do that. I think it's a form of expression, right? And that's not limited to one race. So I don't believe in the whole notion that white people shouldn't rap or stuff like that. No, I don't believe so.
One of my best rappers is Eminem, so
right, even a lot of the greatest rappers, Eminem is one of their best rappers because he's actually really good.
Yeah,
and he talks about a lot of stuff. Like that's the thing. He's not also just a great rapper because he knows how to put words together. Eminem talks about a lot of real life stuff. You get that a lot of people can relate to, and that's the essence. You get that's where we're missing it here in Nigeria. Yeah. Like you think it's about your gold chain and your Nike shoes, bro. No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. So, yeah, I think we have a long way to go in terms of that. I'm trying to do something on that personally, like draw projects that I think, because you know that thing that Nigerian parents say when they're like, okay, you're complaining about something too much, do your own. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that's where I am now. I just feel like, yeah, I've complained about this for too long. I should do it. I should do what I think needs to be done. So that's where I'm coming in. I started with 1960 way back, but even at that time, I didn't have the maturity to do it the way on the level that I think it needed to be done.
Yeah.
So that's literally the goal right now.
That's so interesting. Aside from music, because like you mentioned Odumodu Blvck and his music and how he's able to connect with like people from different ages and all of that. I feel like we've also, as a country, like Nigeria has also really done well in fashion and Afrobeat all over the world. But it's still, what I still don't understand is how is it that we still don't have a seat at the table when it comes to like world trade? Because I'm thinking Nigerian fashion can compete with any fashion house out there, and I like quote me anywhere. I even look for like Nigerian fashion pieces to have shipped from Nigeria to all the way to the US just because they're so good. The music, anywhere you go to here in the US, you hear Afrobeat. Like you hear Afrobeat everywhere, and Afrobeat, a lot of people don't even know. It's not just one genre. Like you mentioned, rap. We have rap in Nigeria.
There's Afro Caribbean, there's Afro Reggae, there's Afro Pop, there's Afro Fusion. There's
a lot, but it feels like I don't know if it's the West that is trying to like say no, stay over there because if we let you, you're going to thrive.
So that's the thing. That's the thing with trying to let them label us, right? It's a labeling thing. It's you allowing them label you and be like, this is what you are. Be in this category. You get, and we've sort of given them that power to do so. I mean, look at how excited we all like everybody was when Grammy started doing best Afro beats. Like you get, like that's not something. I understand that that's a historical award. Obviously, everyone would love to win that, but consciously, right? Consciously, as an African, you should be aware that you're giving too much validation to something that's foreign to you.
Yeah.
Do you get? And if you're going to wait on that validation to know that you're worth something, then you're still a slave. That's how I feel. Do you get? Like you're not free. You get? If you still need validation from the West, we're still slaves. And you said something interesting. The seat at the table, yes, trade. You mentioned
trade.
How's Africa not at the table when it comes to trade? How could we, Sherilyn? Like, how could we? We only have raw materials. We don't manufacture. We don't have the infrastructure necessary to process these raw materials. So how can we actually have a seat at the table if all we can offer is the raw materials? Do you get the people who have the machinery, the infrastructure to process these raw materials will always have the upper hand. You don't have to have like a PhD to know that it's the person who has the resources to refine your raw materials into finished products that has the upper hand. So how can we really have a seat at the table when it comes to world trade? How could we? How much R&D is Nigeria really doing? How much R&D are Nigerian companies really doing? Do you know how much like other countries, not even to talk of the companies, are spending in R&D? So how can we? It's just like grown-ups talking, and like a 10-year-old is trying to enter into the conversation. You're just like, just go to your room, please. You guys, like.
Well, I feel like we have manpower to start. You mentioned that we have raw materials, and we also have a lot of youths that are, if you ask me, employable and teachable. And like, look at what happened in the fashion world, for example. There wasn't the infrastructure in place, but people figured it out in Nigeria. People literally started creating their own companies, importing the right machineries to do this stuff. We're marketing it. Like, they built the fashion industry from ground up without any assistance from government, from nowhere. The same thing with the
Yeah.
music industry. That's what people did as well. So for me, I'm like, yeah, I agree. Nigeria has a long way to go when it comes to infrastructure, but the will is there, the people are there, the talent is there. So I do feel like with the right resources and the right opportunities, it could get to the level that you're talking about, but not if it gets pushed down at every chance it gets to actually try and come up, do something. Is like, no, stay over there, which I feel like is what is happening.
There are a lot of factors like tribe, land, you know, the even our history, the history of our politics is another hindrance to our development, our progress. There's a whole lot of of sharing going on between a group of people that they call the cabal.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you get? Honestly, don't know what it would take for Nigeria to get to where we can.
Mm-hmm.
All I really honestly care about, Shirley, and I'll be very honest with you, all
Yeah.
I really care about is social welfare.
How so?
That's all I really care. Like, just take care of the weak and the vulnerable. That's all. How about that? Like, yeah, everybody, like Nigeria, everything can be the way it is. Yeah, no Allah. Like, but just take care of the weak and the vulnerable. You know, that's the most human thing to do.
I mean, yes, but I think it's also important for Nigeria's economy to actually be maximized, for Nigeria to start trading at international level, for youths to be able to come out from whatever school they go to, be trade school, university, and have jobs waiting for them, good paying jobs that allow them to have a good middle class life or higher. I mean, I don't think as that now Nigeria actually has middle class anymore. I have to just, I don't think it exists. I think it exists.
Yeah, the middle class has been evaporated. You're either on top or you're below.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, it's not rocket science. It's all about the economy. That's what it is. It's about building an economy that works for all. And Nigeria has everything it takes to have that and to build that. I mean, that's why in the last Nigerian election, I personally was supporting Peter Obi, but that's a different story. Because I really feel like he had the right vision. I feel like politicians come in, they campaign, they talk about all these things, but it's like, if you don't build an economy, like a strong economy, nothing else will matter. You need an economy.
Yeah, true.
Like, for real. And like I said, I was talking about, you know, Africa being a sleeping giant and Nigeria being, you know, the giant of West Africa. But it's not, they're not seeing the magnitude of what
Shirley, Benin's currency is currently stronger than Nigeria's currency. Benin, that we supply electricity.
It's almost funny. It would have been funny if it wasn't so sad.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I think at this point, a lot of people are just like insensitive towards it, because if you allow it get to you, you're just going to be wondering about like a lot of things. You know, so you're going to be wondering. So a lot of people are just like, Nigerians have like the thickest skin ever. You get. We've just accepted a lot of these things. Like, okay, this is what's happening now. All right.
Is that the way to go about it though? Like, do you feel like that's the answer? Because I feel like, and I mean, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but after the NSAS movement, I feel like there was some momentum, you know, that kind of...
There was to an extent, but at the end of the day, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone, just like that.
But I feel like Nigerians tend to gather and fight when they feel like when something comes up, they do speak up. Because right now with the controversy surrounding Senator Akpabio and Senator Natasha, like a lot of Nigerians are actually speaking up, for defending her, speaking against what Senator Akpabio did. And like that's, I mean, allegedly did. I have to say allegedly for legal reasons, but you know. So like, I don't know, actually, I wanted to ask you what you think about that specific scandal, because I've been reporting on it and covering it because I'm like so pissed. I can't even believe that. Anyway, let me not say I can't believe. I believe that
Nigeria is just behind. That's all you need to know. We're just so behind. We don't even. If for a country that doesn't have ideologies, right? If you don't stand on ideologies, you're not going to stand for anything. You're not going to know what is right or what's wrong. And that's the basis of everything. Without having ideologies, we don't stand on anything. Nigeria doesn't represent anything. And that's just a sad part. That's just a sad truth. We don't, as a country, we don't represent anything. We're even non-partisan. Like you get, our foreign policy is non-alignment. Sorry, that's actually what I meant to say. Like we're not aligned to the east. We're not aligned to the west. But we can take from you. We can take from you. Like, can you just imagine that? So we don't have leaders. That's just the first issue. We don't have leaders in the country. The people we have are sort of like bigots. They've been there for too long. They're just comfortable. I think for me, right, I don't expect anything to change drastically. I don't expect anything to change radically. I just think the conversations need to keep happening. Like, people need to keep talking about these things.
So what do you think should and will happen in the next Nigerian election?
In the election specifically?
Yes.
I think right now, I think it's already happening. I think Obi and Atiku are trying to get on the same ticket. I think that's already happening. And I think Atiku is trying to get Obi to be his vice, and Obi isn't really running with that. So these politicians can be very funny. Some kind of exchange can just happen somewhere somehow, and then all of a sudden that's agreed upon. I don't even know. I don't have any expectations, to be honest, for the next elections. I know Tinubu is going to want to run again. I don't see him losing it, to be honest. I see him doing his full 8 years. The question is what happens after Tinubu. That's what is uncertain, because there's going to be a lot of power grabbing going on. So Nigeria is in a very uncertain place, right? At least on the public side, it's in a very uncertain place. On the private side, that's where Nigeria is actually doing very well. Like private companies, private outfits, Nigeria is doing excellently well there. And yeah, I think there's a lot of hope. I actually do think so. It's one of the reasons why I haven't left. I actually do think there's a lot of hope. Because people are getting more educated and more open-minded towards a lot of things, thanks to social media. So it's only take time. It'll take time, but eventually, it might not be our time, or surely it might be your kids' time. It might be your kids' time, but it could happen. It could happen. I think something drastic would definitely make that happen, like a catalyst would definitely make that happen.
I agree. I've been saying that we need something drastic. Every time something happens in the country, like I told you, the SARS movement, even now with the scandal going on between Senator Natasha and Ababio, like you see people gather, you see people come up. We definitely need that, something, a very strong catalyst for change to create and kind of start that change for movement, or that movement for change rather.
We're too ingrained into the status quo. It has to be something monumental to remove us down.
I also think that something I always apply to my own personal life, which I think is valid for everyone and every situation, is instead of focusing on what you don't have control over, focus on what you do have. So like as someone living in Nigeria, any part of Africa, quite frankly, and you're looking at the situation, the leadership, you're frustrated with how the government is handling things, or their lack of handling of anything, quite frankly, you can focus on what you can do in your own little space and in your own little way. And somehow when everybody starts to do that, then you see the change. Then you have the music industry that is thriving so much, the Nigerian music industry that's thriving so much. You have the fashion industry that is thriving. Even this last Olympics, yes, I will say there was a lot that happened, but we still had some Nigerians that were, I think, were able to get
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's the two things. It's focusing on one's individual ability to do something, no matter how small, and then also having that monumental, drastic change that will happen at some point as a result of something. And if anything can actually be a testament to that, it's just how people united during the NSAS movement, how people united, even when Peter Obi came out. Okay, he didn't win, which I don't know that if those votes were actually counted correctly, that he didn't win. I don't say that, but I personally think he won, but that's a different story. But it shows like for the first time you saw people from other tribes that were not even Igbos willing to vote for someone that wasn't from their tribe, just because they saw that he had good ideas and good intentions. You saw people that didn't even probably vote before registering to vote. People were literally flying out from all over the world, like Nigerians from all over the world, to Nigeria just to vote. Like I know people that left here, like left the US to go to Nigeria to vote. And I've never heard of seeing that before. But that also gives you like, it gives you hope, because it makes you see that with the right situation, the right leader, the right person, Nigerians will come together and support. So my last question to you is like, what is your driving force? Like, what is your why? I always like to ask that question because I know what my why is, but I like to hear other people's own.
I think fulfillment of Africa's potential.
That's a strong one.
Yeah, Africa has so much potential. Like, we should be at par with the other continents. We shouldn't be a standard continent. It's not even right at all. I try to shy away from conscious rapper, right?
You try to shy away from what?
I said from being called a conscious rapper.
Why?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Why so?
Yeah, because it's been flogged. It's been overflogged by a lot of people. So it's the context has been watered down a lot.
I see.
You get it?
I've listened to quite a few of your songs, and I mean the talent is undeniable. It's always been there, and they're very personable. It feels like in your music, it's almost like an expression of yourself through your art, which is so most artists. Like any artist you see in whatever type of art that they're doing, it's always like they're expressing their inner feelings and their inner thoughts through that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really look forward to more stuff that you're going to bring out, and for you to continue to kind of be a voice for Africa through your music, because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm pushing towards. By the end of this year, I should have like 4 projects out that's already defined what I'm about. So that's the KPI I have set for myself.
I'll hold you accountable to that.
Please do.
I will.
Please do.
So where can people find you on social media, hear your music?
It's all Lex the Orisha. Lex, like Lex, the Orisha doesn't have a H. It's just Orisa. So it's Lex, that's Lex, then the THE, then Orisha, without the H. So that's just basically, that's me on all platforms. But I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm trying to get active on X and Snapchat, but it's not coming to me naturally. So
that's like me on Threads, trying to be active on Threads, but it's not coming naturally.
Honestly, it just shows that we're getting old.
I know, right? As in, how many generations are there after us though? Because we're millennials, so there are Gen Z, and then there's Alpha. I think there are 2 generations. Not even sure. So thank you so much for coming on today. You're very, very welcome here anytime, any day. Please don't be a stranger. Come back. And thank you to you guys for tuning in to another episode of Just with Sherry. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as you do so, God will bless you.